What happens when Michelin-starred chefs leave fine dining behind for fame and fast food? Some trade white tablecloths for airport food courts, frozen dinners, and grocery store shelves, but still walk away with millions. These chefs have gone from culinary icons to full-blown brands, cooking for presidents, celebrities, and billionaires, only to see their names on jars of sauce. What once looked like selling out now seems like a smart business. In this video, we'll explore how these chefs turned Michelin stars into food empires. Some call it corporate, others call it genius, but one thing's for sure, the checks cleared, and these chefs got rich. Let's start with the one who laid the blueprint long before celebrity chefs were a thing. Let's start with the one who quietly built the blueprint long before celebrity chefs were even a thing. 1. Wolfgang Puck. Wolfgang Puck first made waves in Beverly Hills with his restaurant, Spago, earning 2 Michelin stars and redefining California cuisine.
One of my favorite pastas, and it's really seasonal, is our butternut squash ravioli here, pumpkin ravioli.
He wasn't content to stop at a hot restaurant review. He saw the potential for his cooking to reach every corner of life. From the beginning, Puck blended French technique with Californian freshness, and that creativity caught the world's attention. Puck expanded far beyond the restaurant world. Eventually, his name started showing up in places you wouldn't expect, like the frozen food aisle. This was actually enough to catch the attention of everyday shoppers. He built partnerships that placed his food in airports, created his own line of cookware, did live demos on QVC, and opened fast casual restaurants. What began as one high-end dining room eventually turned into a business that reached millions of people in their homes, on the go, and everywhere in between. That kind of expansion paid off, and today, Wolfgang Puck's net worth now sits around $120 million. Some of his most popular dishes, like smoked salmon pizza to truffle macaroni, are now household staples. He turned those recipes into products and branding that people recognize instantly. It's a move that helped take his name from exclusive restaurant circles to everyday kitchens. Not everyone loved the direction he took, though. Some critics felt that by expanding so widely, Puck lost the refined edge that made his early menu special. Fans of his original Spago dishes missed the focus and fine-tuned detail. But Puck always said his goal was to make great food more accessible. He didn't want to see cooking as something meant for just a few. He just wanted to make something everyone would enjoy, and by putting his recipes and name in more places, he showed that the chef's influence doesn't have to stay locked in a high-end dining room. The next chef on our list took a similarly unexpected route. He left the confines of white jackets and stainless steel kitchens, built an empire with his unmistakable voice, and now commands a global audience in a very different way. Number 2. Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay earned a staggering 17 Michelin stars over his career, making him one of the most decorated chefs on the planet. For years, his reputation was built on precision, fire, and that unmistakable voice that could send a sous chef sprinting out the back door.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, chef.
But somewhere between the soufflés and screaming, Ramsay did what few expected. He went corporate. He launched Gordon Ramsay Burger in Vegas, followed by airport joints, casual bistros, cooking shows, cookware, and ghost kitchens slinging food for apps like Uber Eats. These days, you'll find his name attached to everything from ghost kitchens to streaming platforms. The same chef who once demanded perfection from every plate now has meals flying out of kitchens he may never personally set foot in. Well, some of his fans had mixed feelings about it. Some saw it as the fall of a culinary icon, accusing him of catering to tourists and cashing in on his fame. Some others pointed out the obvious. He had created an empire. With an estimated net worth of $220 million, he became less of a chef and more of a global product. Some critics questioned whether he'd lost his edge, but Gordon didn't seem too concerned. For him, cooking was about expanding his reach rather than seeking wealth. He took that energy and bold flavors he was known for and brought them to everyday diners, even if that meant moving away from the white tablecloth scene. Say what you want, but Gordon Ramsay actually sold smart. The next chef on our list decided to go on a mission way bigger than the plate. Number 3. José Andrés. José Andrés isn't your typical sold-out story. Yes, his DC restaurant minibar earned 2 Michelin stars, and he's tried his hand at fast casual with beefsteak. But what really set him apart was stepping outside the kitchen into crisis zones. Andrés founded the World Central Kitchen, a non-profit that delivers meals in the wake of hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires, you name it. While some chefs chase stars, he's been helicoptered into war-torn countries to make sure people have hot food and clean water. He made it clear that he didn't do all this as a publicity stunt, but he wanted it to become his life's work. However, that doesn't mean he stepped away from business. Alongside his humanitarian work, he's expanded into airports, opened multiple restaurants, and partnered with brands. His name is now both on a Michelin plaque and a to-go bag. Some critics say he's become too visible, more activist than a food artist. Others might also argue that no one's using food more powerfully. And really, who else can say they've served presidents and shown up with paella in a refugee camp? José Andrés may have pivoted from fine dining, but he didn't sell out. He rather scaled up and maybe inspired a whole new blueprint for what chefs can be. And then there's someone who did lean into the business side, but in a totally different way. Still Michelin starred, still respected, but with a brand voice so strong, it built an empire of noodles, Netflix, and not playing by the rules. Number 4. David Chang. David Chang made his mark by shaking things up when he opened Momofku Noodle Bar in New York in 2004. The space was casual and loud, with an energy that felt different from anything else at the time. Critics praised the food, but what stood out was the attitude. Chang made it clear he focused on flavor, creativity, and building something new on his own terms. But things changed. In 2008, Momofku Ko landed 2 Michelin stars, and suddenly Chang wasn't a cool new guy anymore. He became a certified star. Still, he didn't settle there. Instead of chasing more stars, he chased scale. He launched Fuku, a fried chicken spot. He dove into TV, becoming a Netflix regular with shows like Ugly Delicious and The Mind of a Chef. He embraced the ghost kitchen trend, co-founded a media company, published cookbooks, and inked deals with massive brands. His fans had mixed feelings. Some feel he went corporate by trading his bold flavors for big business. But Chang has never shied away from evolution. His response to the backlash has always been evolve or die. He has decided to chase impact now, and clearly, it's working because his net worth now is somewhere north of $60 million. Chang may have shaken things up in his own way, but the next chef had already built a global reputation long before most people even knew what a Michelin star was. Number 5. Joël Robuchon. Rest in peace. Joël Robuchon earned more Michelin stars than any chef in history, with over 32 in total. He remained the most decorated chef in the guide's entire history. He was the kind of chef other chefs looked up to. Quiet, precise, and endlessly focused on perfection. Robuchon was known for turning something as simple as mashed potatoes into a global culinary standard. He was known for his calm, focus, and exacting standards. Robuchon could take something as basic as mashed potatoes and turn it into a benchmark dish chefs still study today. But in his later years, the focus shifted. His name became less about a single kitchen and more of a luxury brand. He licensed it across the world: Las Vegas, Macau, Paris, and Bangkok. You'll find Joël Robuchon branded restaurants tucked inside casinos, 5-star hotels, and airport-adjacent resorts. From Tokyo tasting menus to tasting rooms in the Strip, his empire sprawled across continents. And yes, the food stayed elegant. The service stayed elite. But critics couldn't help but ask if it was still his food, or if a chef could oversee dozens of restaurants and still preserve the soul that earned him those stars. Some called it selling out, others saw it as securing legacy. Robuchon passed away in 2018, but his influence lives on, not only in the restaurants bearing his name, but also in the generation of chefs he mentored, many of whom now lead their own kitchens. Even after his passing, his brand still prints money from licensing deals, restaurant royalties, and cookbooks. And now, this brings us to the final chef on our list. Number 6. Emeril Lagasse. Emeril Lagasse didn't climb the culinary ladder by collecting Michelin stars. He built something else entirely. In the early days, Emeril was a trained chef with legit restaurant chops. His New Orleans restaurant, like Emeril's and Nola, made waves in the food world, earning respect and attention. But what set him apart was his ability to connect with an audience. With his booming voice, signatured BAM! And infectious energy, Emeril turned cooking into entertainment long before it was cool. By the time the Food Network hit its stride, Emeril was the face of it. His show Emeril Live made him a household name, and with that fame came serious business opportunities. He launched his own line of cookware, spice blends, frozen meals, and even branded kitchen appliances. Then in 2008, Emeril sold most of his brand to Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia for $50 million. That included his TV shows, cookbooks, food products, basically everything except his restaurant group. It was a bold move that made headlines, and it marked a turning point. The chef who once taught America to julienne and onion on live TV had now turned his persona into a product. Some food traditionalists weren't thrilled. They felt Emeril Lagasse had traded fine dining for flashy TV moments, but Emeril stayed focused, building a blueprint for turning a chef's personality into a full-blown brand. Today, his estimated net worth is around $70 million. While he's not as constantly visible on screen as he once was, the influence is everywhere. Emeril was the first to show that a chef could entertain, educate, and run a business all at once. Emeril didn't abandon the kitchen. He just figured out how to cook for millions without ever leaving your TV screen. Now this brings us to the big question. Did these chefs sell out, or did they just cash in on the kind of success every chef dreams about? These chefs built something bigger than restaurants. Their names became brands, their foods turned into global products, and their careers reshaped what success looks like in the culinary world. Whether you call it a pivot or a payday, one thing's clear: fine dining doesn't always stay in the kitchen. Which of these chef moves surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And if you love watching videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more, cause you don't want to miss what's cooking next.